All right, welcome to Adept Packaging's February Learning Share. Today's topic is the benefit of working with a recruiter. I just want to mention a couple of quick items before we get started. All of our attendees have had their lines placed on mute. If you wish to ask a question, you can type your question into the chat box at any time throughout today's presentation. Please be sure to send your questions to Adept Packaging host, and we'll read them at the end of the presentation. You can also ask a question at the conclusion of the presentation by taking your line off of mute first. You'll see the polling function is active for this month's presentation, and we'd love to hear your feedback. The poll will run throughout the duration of the presentation today, and if you'd like to give feedback, please make sure that you complete the poll for us. We appreciate all of your responses. So we'll go ahead and get started by introducing today's speaker. Today we welcome Alicia Sine, who's the Director of Recruitment here at Adept. Alicia is a second-generation recruiter, having been trained and mentored by some of the best in the business. She brings to our Adept team a deep knowledge of recruiting, along with experience in growing businesses. She also brings with her an unused degree in zoology. Having a firm belief in the quote, "A candle loses nothing by lighting another," she's instrumental in helping the Adept talent team continue to grow and prosper. And at this time, I'm going to hand it over to Alicia. Welcome, Alicia.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you everyone for joining us. Annually, U.S. companies spend over $150 billion on recruiting and staffing services, even when they have their own internal talent acquisition teams. Today, we're going to talk about why they do that and a couple of reasons of the benefits of using a recruiter. Biggest reasons companies decide to work with recruiting firms is to get access to top talent, to hire people they cannot find on their own. This might sound counterintuitive to use a recruiting firm when that's what internal recruiters are hired to do. But remember, when an internal recruiter is filling multiple positions within an organization, whereas a recruiter might just be looking for top talent in a specific industry. And specialized recruiters, such as those of us at Adept, our livelihood depends upon knowing the key skills, attributes, and talents that make someone successful in a particular field or discipline. Here at Adept, we're looking at challenges that that are coming in the future, such as sustainability and cold chain. So we're always trying to keep our eye on the next steps. Depending on the amount of turnover within an organization, a company may not have a real-world understanding of the availability of talent, current salary ranges, or what candidates they're seeking in their next opportunity. And depending on the state of the economy, the competition for talent might be incredibly competitive. By utilizing a recruiter, an organization can position themselves in the best light to attract people to their company. So for example, when the economy is strong, unemployment is low, recruiters will see candidates seeking higher pay ranges, career advancement opportunities, and new challenges in their next position. But when the economy is weaker, the trends shift to a need for security, low risk opportunities, and it's our job as specialists to track those trends and know that they're coming and share that information with our customers. Just because you have a lawnmower and you know how to cut the grass doesn't mean you should be the one doing it. Your time might be better spent on another activity while you pay someone to do the landscaping. So there's a lot of great tools that are out there for companies to find talent, and many of those tools just actually slow down your process. They add man hours, they add expense, and they complicate an already difficult process. If you truly calculate the cost of purchasing all those resources, the man hours used, the time it takes to manage and evaluate the results of those resources, and the time lost that you could have been spent doing something else, you might be surprised. And if you're truly working with an experienced recruiter, you should be able to eliminate most of those tasks and ultimately save time and money. We put together actually a sample of the cost of a bad hire. There's many different costs that people don't even consider when they're looking at how expensive it could be. You got to consider not only the costs associated with hiring an employee, recruiting, onboarding, and training, but also the salary ranges and the time spent, writing job postings, job descriptions, reviewing candidates, the cost of job boards, assessment tests, background checks, lost productivity of having a position open, days spent training a new employee, the cost of benefits, and if it's a bad hire, the cost of unemployment. So as you can see in this example, we did a conservative calculation of a bad hire would be about $48,000. This is a conservative estimate. Believe it or not, the cost of using a recruiter on average is about half that cost. So it would be less expensive to utilize us than make the mistakes. And actually, the cost will increase if it's a specifically difficult position to fill, if productivity losses are high, if the company doing the hiring spends a long time reviewing numerous resumes, particularly if they're getting a lot of less qualified candidates. Cost of a bad hire actually extends beyond money. Money you can make again, but it's hard to do is fix a tarnished brand reputation, repair a client relationship, and get those clients back. Not to mention, bad hires can have a negative effect on your team. Hiring an employee that can't carry their weight, doesn't mesh with your current team, will decrease morale, which in turn leads to decreased productivity and can derail an entire project.